Aaron, as the playoffs begin, how driven are you to win a world championship?
I'm, this is, I'm excited. That's for sure. Um, definitely driven, just like everybody else in this room. Had quite a few opportunities the past couple of years to, go out there and win a World Series, and we've come up short. So I think every single one of those times that we've, kind of fallen on our face has been definitely a learning experience for me and a lot of guys in this room. And we're just excited to get back out there and, hunt it down this year. I'm also excited that we got quite a few guys that this is their, first time getting into the postseason and getting a chance to play some meaningful games. So it's an exciting time and a lot of buzz in that clubhouse right now. So we're just ready to get rolling for tomorrow.
We'll go to the second row.
Aaron, while you were chasing history, it felt like the expectation was every at-bat, people had their phones out and they wanted to see a home run. Is there a part of you that's relieved that is no longer the expectation?
Well, I like having everybody on their feet. I love, hearing the stadium kind of go crazy when you're walking up to the plate. I'm relieved that it's over with so that we can kind of go back to focusing on, playing a game and winning a ball game. It was a little strange there for a while. Every time you step up to the plate, people are expecting you to hit a home run, and every time I step up there, I'm trying to do what I can to help the team win. So it was a kind of a weird situation there, but happy I could do it and kind of share that moment with my teammates and family. And now it's back to playing baseball, and we're gonna still have those same feelings, those same jitters with the crowd on their feet, especially at Yankee Stadium. These next two games, it's gonna be a packed house. So I think those past couple of weeks of kind of going through that and having this whole team kind of be there and witness that whole situation, I think it kind of prepared us for what's to come here in the postseason.
A couple in the third row, I think.
Aaron, you were intentionally walked 19 times this year. Past eras, maybe a guy like Barry Bonds you grew up watching sees more intentional walks. Were you surprised with the home runs in the season that you had that you weren't intentionally walked as much as you were? And do you think maybe that changes with a shorter series where every at-bat's so crucial?
I think a lot of teams understand how tough it is to hit, especially with the major league pitching that we have in, this day and era of, I feel like every single starter's throwing 95 plus, every guy in the bullpen's throwing 100. It's still tough to square up the baseball and, go up there and try to do something productive. So I think, a lot of teams, throughout the year just kind of said, hey, we're gonna go after him and see what happens, or, we'll be a little careful with him. And if he swings out of the zone, he swings out of the zone. If he doesn't, he'll take his walk. So, I didn't expect to walk any more, or expect to walk any less. But in the postseason, I expect, teams they'll have scouting reports. They'll do what they need to do. There'll be certain situations where they come after me or other guys. There'll be certain situations where they, pitch around me or other guys just to get, the right matchup. So, if they're going to walk me and put me on base, I'm happy for it because I know we got a stacked lineup behind me of guys that are, waiting to drive me in.
Thanks.
Yep.
Stay in the third row, and then Eric.
You guys have advanced far in the postseason during your time here. What makes you confident that this year could be different to get over the hump and win a title?
Well, I feel like in years past we've just kind of lacked, having some of the, top end starting rotation pitching, and I feel like a couple of years ago we went out and got Garrett Cole. Watching what Nestor Cortez has developed into these past couple of years. Getting Severino back healthy, and we saw what he did his last start in Texas. It's impressive. I can go on and on about our starting pitching, and then hand it off to our bullpen. It makes for a short game. So I think, besides what our offense is capable of doing every single night, which we showcased all year long, I think when it comes down to it, it's defense and starting pitching that's going to win you games in October, and it's something that we definitely specialize in, and we got some dogs out there on the mound that are ready to show what they can do.
Eric in the first row on your right.
Aaron, for players who have not experienced it, how would you describe to them what Yankee Stadium is like for a playoff game?
Man, it's heaven. That's that's where you want to be. For me, I get the jitters, the intros, run out on that line, the crowd cheering, the little crisp, cool air. There's nothing like it. You can't hear the roll call. Even when I'm in right field right next to the bleacher creatures, I can barely hear what they're saying out there. It's so loud, and but when it comes down to it, you just and you got to embrace it and enjoy every single moment, because that's we're still playing the same kids game that we've been playing all year. Still going to go out there and do the same thing we've done for 162 games. So for the guys that haven't been there or experienced it, it's hey, soak it in, realize and acknowledge that you are going to be a little nervous. You are going to have some butterflies in your stomach, but if you prepared the right way, did what you need to do pregame, and now it's time to go out there and embrace those moments and have fun with it and just play ball.
Brian in the second row on your left.
Along those lines, Aaron, the atmosphere here has been a little weird, and everybody focused on your at bats only. What are you hoping it looks, feels, and sounds like tomorrow?
Just like all the other postseason games we've had here, just loud, fans on their feet from the very first pitch till the last out. Constant noise, and I think the fans they're going to show out in numbers, just based on what we did all year. Staying in first place, winning our division. Not winning a World Series for quite a few years. I think the fans are hungry just like we are for a championship. So they're a big part of this whole thing for us. They're out there battling with us every single pitch, and when they bring the energy, us as players, we feel that and we feed off of it. So we're just all looking forward to putting on a good show for them in this postseason.
We'll stay over here with Ron.
A lot of times we see before an at bat, especially when the other team's in the bullpen, you reviewing things on the iPad. What are you looking to pick up? The release point, the ball spins out in that minute or two. What knowledge do you get?
Well, you write down. We got different notes that we take that we can put on those iPads, like personal notes of mine, and even just a refresher of what I just got done seeing. I don't know how many pitches from the starter. They're bringing in a high leverage guy. I've been doing all my homework the night before, and that day it never hurts to get another set of eyes on what's his fastball doing, what's his breaking ball doing, and then it's just go out there and stick to your plan and go have fun. So I don't try to look at too much. Just a quick refresher on what this guy has, and then go out there, make a plan, and go to work.
Do a couple more. Barry and then John on your right.
Hey, Aaron. So just a note on the intentional walks. I mean, Barry was walked 120 times in 2004 alone and 688 times in his career, and he still hit 762 home runs. So it was pretty minor with you, don't you think?
Yeah. I never said it. I never said it was a lot. It's I'm still getting over 600 plate appearances, so. That's one joke my dad always said. He's like, man, you're getting up to the plate about 600, 500 times. You tell me you can't hit 80 out? But we have fun with that. But no, Barry was a different animal, man. He would get maybe one pitch a series and drive it out, one pitch a game. It was impressive and definitely fun to watch as a kid. So I'm glad I didn't get a walk to 100 and something times. That would have been a little wild.
So Barry said you guys have never met.
No.
Okay. What would when you meet him, and I'm sure you will you approach it as a kid, like to his idol, or to a peer?
Oh, well, definitely as an idol. I got respect for the guys that came before me and played this game before me and everything they've done. So I definitely see it as approaching an idol, and I pick his brain a little bit and. Just any tips I could get on, how he made this game look so easy. It could be even, defensive stuff because the amount of Gold Gloves he's won out there in left field. So, whenever I get a chance to meet him, we'll have a lengthy conversation. That's for sure.
Christy in the third row on your left.
You've talked about before not having success in the postseason and how that's kind of driven you a little bit. Is there one thing that you take away from that, a feeling or a memory, and when do you think about it? How do you use that?
Well, the worst feeling in sports, besides, having to walk off that field, either getting walked off or losing the game, is coming back into the clubhouse and just having that that silence. Like, you don't know what to say. You don't know what to do. It's like I've been working my butt off since, the November of the year before to get to this spot, and also now you're telling me it's over with. I got to go home, So it's just that feeling of, shoulda, coulda, woulda. You're thinking back, well, if I would have done this, if I could have done that, we would have been in a better spot. Feeling like you let down your teammates, feeling like you let down the city, your team. There's a bunch of different emotions after a loss in the postseason. So, that's one thing I always, I said it last year to the guys in Fenway. It's, as we're all kind of sitting there in silence looking at each other and nobody knows what to say. It's like, hey, guys, don't forget this feeling. When you're working out this off season and it's too early or you're too tired, think about this feeling right here and, how sick you feel, how upset you are, how mad you are, and use that, to get you out of bed or, even when it's July and August, the dog days, and you don't feel like doing that workout, you don't feel like really locking it in for this your fifth at bat of the game. Think about, walking off that field and seeing other teams celebrate, just it's little things like that to just kind of push, it motivates me and pushes me every single day. So I think it's definitely that silence in the clubhouse.
I'll do 3 last ones. John, on your right.
Aaron, obviously, even after the team was able to clinch the postseason spot and everything like that, Aaron was able to kind of move guys in and out of the lineup a little bit, but not so much with you. You were carrying a lot there. Were you able in the last couple of days to refresh yourself or like reset in a sense, or to get out of that mode where you were in last Tuesday?
Yeah, I think when I was kind of fighting Skip about the last game, I kind of wanted to get in there, but he said, "Nah, take the day," and I really just needed that one day, and I was ready to go right after that. But we've had 5 days off now to kind of, for me, I can come in here and knock out my cage routine, do what I need to do on defense, different recovery stuff I need to do, and go back home, recover, watch some film, and just get ready for the next day. So these past couple of days have definitely been big time for me to, just get my body right for this stretch we're about to go on.
We'll stay in that same road to the right.
First of all, congratulations. 62 don't happen. It's a lot of time. When you look back 5 years ago, right now, and then be with Cleveland, mostly all the time when the Giants face the Cleveland postseason, they dominated. What you expecting to happen in this series?
Well, first off, thank you, and it's gonna be a tough series. We've battled these guys, earlier in the year at our place, and then we went to them a little bit later in the year, and it was a dogfight back and forth. They got a young team that, they got a lot of young, fast players offensively that, work a great at bat. They cause havoc on the base pass, that's for sure. You got to be on your toes defensively, because if you bobble the ball for 1 second, they're going to beat those plays out. And then even their pitching staff, up and down, you got a lot of guys that, know how to pitch. They're hungry. They got a lot of fight. Just from the past couple of games of watching them play the Rays, they were never out of that game, even when they got down early. In game 1, Ramirez responds with a 2-run homer to give them the lead, and they hold on to it by handing it off to their good bullpen. It's pretty impressive. So I'm looking forward to this matchup. Like you said, last time we faced them in 2020 and 2017, kind of coming in there at the underdog, and we're going to try to keep that same mindset of, we got to go out there and prove ourselves every day.
We'll finish up with Bob against the wall on your right.
Hey, Aaron, you were just talking about that awful silence in the clubhouse and that sick feeling walking in after an elimination loss. What does it feel like after the 6th or 7th year of that? And because you are the centerpiece of this offense, do you feel a greater responsibility to not let that happen again?
Well, I feel a responsibility every single year, even when I was a rookie, coming in here and going in on my first postseason run in 17, I felt responsibility, not only for this team, but the city to go out there and bring something home. And, as the years have gone on and we've, fallen short and came close and fallen short, and, it doesn't get any better every year, and, that's why you got to learn from all those experiences. You got to learn from those downfalls. You got to learn from the sleepless nights, and you got to take what you can from it, turn it into a positive, and just get ready for the next year. And that's what I've tried to do every single season. And this year we put ourselves in a great position. We got a great team to go out there and kind of close this thing out. So, as much as I hate those those silent moments, they only make you, not only a better, better player, but a better person, when you go through the adversity like that. I think you know my prediction.